Welcome, guys, to Zero Sievert. It's actually you guys that actually recommended this game to me. It's funny because it's not my sort of game usually, these sort of real-time shooters. It's not really something that I enjoy playing them, but I'm just terrible at playing them. So anyway, let's get into it. This is a very, very cool game, I've got to say. I've absolutely been loving playing it, but it's going to be embarrassing to actually then do a broadcast of it. Now, I've actually sort of cleaned out the save files and lots of stuff. You have to go into your app data /locals/0 Sievert, and then sort of delete all the files in there to sort of get back to a factory setting. This is version 0.28.03 at this point in time. Still early access, but very, very, very well fleshed out. Definitely do the tutorial. It's very easy. It just basically is text files, just explaining things. So I'm just going to quickly go through. I'm not going to make this a very long video. I'm just going to go through, maybe play a mission or two, and so you can sort of see what it's like. But definitely have a look at this one through here. So I'm not going to be going through the same slow pace that I normally go. It'll still be slow pace, but it won't be as slow as it usually is, where I explain everything ad infinitum because I don't have time. So we're just going to go back, and this will be like a bit of an intro to the game, and then I'll come back at some other point in the future and cover this again in more depth. Okay, so let's just go across to a new game. Now we've got 3 slots we can sort of fill up. As I say, the slots like to actually get rid of there's no delete button yet for the slots, and that would be good if there was, because you've got to go, as I say, into app data /local /0 Sievert, and then delete the save files that way. Anyway, we'll go into slot number 1 and go to next. And we've got a few different sorts of different equipment. Now, as I click on each of these, it doesn't start from the easiest to the hardest, but this is really how you control your hardness, and so the hardness of the game. And so you've got like basic first aid equipment, water, food in through this side. This is a backpack. This is like a school backpack, so just very limited stuff that it can then carry. Main weapon with various ammunition back in through this side, and some body armor there as well. Number 2 has got like a shotgun, better armor, a different sort of secondary weapon through there as well. Similar sort of food layout, and still the school backpack. Number 3 is interesting. This one's got like a sniper rifle with a scope. A pistol for if you need to sort of fire quickly. Body armor again. This one I think is supposed to be one of the most easiest ones to use, because you can then, so we may even use this for this particular run. Number 4 is just some sort of rifle. Still got body armor, so that's actually okay. Number 5, this is the hard start. School backpack, very limited food and first aid. A pistol with some bullets. And number 6 is looks like a rifle again with some attachments on it. Better body armor, better bullets. Back in through this side, food, and it's still the school backpack. So this one here, we'll just go back to number 3. Now it's got hardcore mode. I don't know if we. Yeah, let's not leave that on. All right, let's try this one in through here. So we'll get started. Now, initially, and I'll probably pause a lot of this, I'll skip the introduction and I'll just explain what's going on. Now, we start off in the bar. Now, this is Zero Sievert is a bunker. And so, again, I'll just quickly go through everything. Back over here is, and if I press the shift, if I can do it, this is our little area. So we have like a stash zone in through here. F, we can then sort of put different things in here. Now, probably a good idea to just set up your, we've got in through here a medikit. So we'll just go and throw that one into there. Bandages in number 4 slot, and then a first aid medikit, a better medikit back in the other way. We could even do this a bit differently. Have like 6 and 7, and then 3, 4, and 5, etc. for bleeding and bandages. Food will keep back in our stash. So I can just control click on these. So we'll just leave all of that back in there. We don't need to take it for these early missions. The gun is going to be our number 1 slot. Actually, what we need to do is put everything on it. We've also got our body armor, so I'll throw that into there as well. We don't have any night vision. We do have the gun itself. Now, when we hover over this one, this is a Pokarov is the actual one it uses, and it uses 9x18 caliber. And so if we go across, we can then hover over this one. This is 9x18 as well, so we'll just throw that one down to the bottom there. I just like it in this corner. And then we've got 7.62 by 54R. So 54 RMMPS. I'm not sure what that actually is. That's the bullets, but that'll be for this thing in here. Yeah, so this is 7.6 by 54. I don't know bullets. So anyway, that's what that is. 5 magazine in through that side for the sniper rifle. All right, that's the stash. So in that particular area, this is our little area back and through here. Can't do anything with that one. Let's just go down to crafting. So we can do different things. Like if we have certain bits and pieces, we can then start to sort of go crafting for them, and we can sort of start to have a bit of a look to see, like what did we need? It was the 50. It was 762 by 54, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, this is. I don't know what the SNB PS. That's 45 actually. I think that was the one that we actually had. So if we do this one here, we can start to keep track of different things. Like if we go to the scrap ammo, I can actually just go and track the items to make that particular ammunition. Repair kits we won't worry about. Repair gel, mod weapons back and through here. Now we've got the two different weapons. We could have actually done this one. And we've got available, like we've got a muzzle and nothing actually there. And we've got a scope. So we're just going to go and install the scope. So the scope is now installed on the gun. Done. That's all we need to do there, and just go back again. If I just go and press escape, press tab, bring this one up, and then bring the scoped gun. So I could have actually done that when it was still in there. So now we're ready to go. We've got nothing in our inventory. We've got a weight allowance down through here. Now when we hover over this, it then shows me the weight. Also, it will then show me the value of things when I hover over, which is really, really cool. Anyway, that's what we need to do there. Let's go and get some missions. So we'll just come across. Press shift, and we'll talk to the barman to start with. Blah, 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 blah. Get a task, thank you. First steps, we'll do it, we'll accept it. Now, we'll figure out what we have to do. I'm just going to go and accept these to start with, because we're doing things fast this time. I'm not doing my normal thing of farting about. Whoops, wrong way to go. We want to go and get one more quest from the doctor. Back in here, F. Task, please. Radioactive meat, accept. Okay, task accepted. Now, what we'll do is I'll get onto the actual mission map itself, and then we'll deal with things. We've got one more task to get, which is outside. So we come outside, and then we've got a train conductor down through here we can talk to. This is still back at 0 Sievert. Give me a task, please. We want some materials, heaps of different materials. We then get rewards once we get these different bits and pieces. Okay, so we'll accept that, and we've now got an active. So we've got a whole lot of different tasks that are now active. Press escape, and I want to leave. Now these are different locations. Most of what we need to do in the start of the game is in this forest location. So we've got forest, we've got a makeshift camp, we've got industrial area, a swamp, and also a mall. So they progressively get more and more dangerous. So we need to be essentially learning the ropes initially. So we'll just click on go. Now he takes us in a train to each of these locations, whatever we want to actually be then doing. So hopefully I'll just check and make sure I'm not in the way of any of the information when we do get into the game itself. I'm not sure if I am or not. Okay, so when we come, he's then going to drop us off. So it's sort of in daylight, it's raining. So I'll just show enough of the game to sort of just get ready. Now I can sort of have a bit of a look. If I right click, I can then use the scope to start to look at things as well. There's a rabbit there, for example. Now, before we do anything, you can see that through here we're well rested, we're well fed, we're well hydrated, and we've not irradiated at all. Our hit points is good, and our stamina is good as well. That's in the top corner. It looks like I'm okay where I am. Down in the bottom left, below where I am, is the loadout. Now we have to reload, so just press R, and we might just quickly change the other gun as well when we finish reloading. So we'll just go to number 2. Which is now the pistol, and we'll reload that as well. Just make sure that they're all sort of reloaded. So we've got the pistol now, number 1, and we then bring back the actual rifle. Now, I will need to kill off different things, but the first thing we need to do is, sounds like thunder. I'm assuming it's thunder. Could be thunder, could be some sort of explosions, but we don't know. Press M. This will then show we've got an extraction point up through here. We're over here. We've got an extraction point back over this side. Now I can click on these to have a bit of a look, or I can right click and add a new marker just so we're always aware that's where the extraction point actually is. So for us, I think for our first mission, all we'll do is we'll just make our way across the extraction point and get what we can without exploring too much. It's quite dangerous, so we'll just keep on the train track, cross the road at some point, and then once we cross the road, we'll then move down. Let's just press escape from there. By the way, the game doesn't pause, so when you do things like look at the map, you have to make sure that you are fairly safe when you actually go and do it. You can see there we've got the marker in the bottom corner there. Now the next thing we want to do, so the rabbits, we will need to get them at some point. You can see we're starting to get thirsty now because time is ticking on. If we now press the J key, it then brings up, so M brings up the map, J brings up this one. Let's have a look and see what our different things are. So first steps, survive 1 time in the forest. Okay, that's what we'll do sort of fairly readily. We need to collect 12 raw meat. So we need to try to find 12 raw meat and give to the doctor. And we have a whole lot of different materials. So collect 40 scrap metal. We're not going to get that done this term. Even the meat is going to be a bit of a problem. I might just go back to my pistol and just shoot the rabbits because that's nice and easy. And then we come across, we just press F, and there's one of the meat. So that's one of the 12 that we needed to get. Now I'll just keep things going. I can sort of just have a bit of a look ahead. There's a rabbit there. And we'll just keep on going this way. F. Oh, there's a hunter up the top there. So we just control click on those and then press escape. Okay, we'll just press number 1 again. Bring back our guy. Now if I press and do it this way. Okay, we got rid of him. We'll have another look up there. No, we can't see anything else up that way. I've got to keep the thing down. I'll just go back to number 2 again. And look for more rabbits. We don't want wolves. We might just quickly go up and see if we can actually raid. Now I've got to be careful of fire like this. Just have a bit of a look. Okay, we'll get everything so as it sort of is discovered. Shotgun, no problem. Escape. Alright, so that was good. There's a bit of... when we get too close to things like this, there's radiation. Now we'll just keep on moving this way. So I'm just using the pistol at the moment. I can reload as well. Just get it fully loaded. There's another rabbit. Bit of a look around. I do go slowly with these sort of games because I'm very, very poor at seeing things. Now there's special, this is a really weird little area full of very, very dangerous radiation. So we're in a highly radiated zone. This is basically what the backstory is that there've been like a big disaster, and then there's all of groups like ourselves that are coming in to hunt the region. If we're just going after rabbits, I'll just use the pistol for rabbits. A bit of a look ahead. If you hear wolves, stop and gauge where they are and then go the other way. Okay, we've now gone past. Let's get out of here. We've actually got a bit of loot. And I really just want to give a very, very brief introduction to the game here. Yeah, this is where we just go through. So we didn't have to use... we used a couple of our bullets, didn't we, of the sniper rifle. And this is the way off. There we go, leaving in a few seconds. Okay, so we will have done our first mission. We got a little bit of experience. We survived. And so we just go to next. So we got a little bit of experience. It takes a long time to level up in this game. I wish there was settings actually to fix that one. So if there's no reason to talk with him, let's just go back in and zoom on up. Now the doctor, we don't have enough, but here we go. Our first mission, we're our first one in. So if we just go back into the task, first steps completed, and so we now get a reward. So we then get to choose the item as a reward. Now we've got these will help us level up. So we can get a book in medicine, a book of gain 1 point in gunsmithing, so we can make sort of different settings for the guns, or in cooking. Let's go for gunsmithing in this instance. So we'll just gain reward, and there we go. We can actually refill our thirst and hunger from here if we wanted to. Now it's one of these things where we can do that, or we can use our own, but I'm just going to quench it here for now. Just spend the money that we've got. don't know if actually I probably should have gone raiding even further. Eventually we'll raid for the food. So, but that's okay where we are there. Let's go into our stash again. And so we've now got this, we've got 4 of these. So we'll just go and bring these across because we're going to need these ultimately to give to the doctor once we get 12 of those. What have we got? A Marlboro cigarettes. I've got a lot of crackers. This is a coffee. And we've got the different slugs. Now, one thing we're going to do with this is I'm going to right click and unload these. If it did have any other bullets, it would then show up. We'll just keep that just in case we need it. Now we can right click and use this. So we just get a little bit of skills now with what we've got. Just press escape, just reload again. So again, we're just going to be careful because the ammunition, which is really cool. If we just go to tab, we've still got 33 shots here, but we have to be super, super careful of these different things. Now we can go across, and I won't play much more than this because I just wanted to give a bit of an idea as to what the game is before I actually before I go into before I do a full-on run of this one. But if I go and talk to this barman, for example, I can go and trade for different things. Now he's making medication and food with what he actually has, so we're going to have to ultimately do quests to get our bullets. But if we did need, like even more raw meat, for example, we could buy it from them if we wanted to, and we could actually trade for different things as well. And so again, if we just go back to our zone, if I just press shift again and run back in. By the way, when you run inside this area, you don't use your stamina, but if you run in the actual maps, you do. Now, if we just go down and hover over that one, you can see there that this is actually worth a bit of money. And so, yeah, we could actually sell that for a little bit. Sell for 1,000. So the food that we got was worth that particular gun. And by the way, the guns have all got their own sort of things like durability, sort of what their state of repair is, damage, the accuracy of it, the recoil, ergonomics, etc., etc. There's a whole lot of different things which I won't go into the details of that one, but each gun has got those sorts of aspects. Okay, let's get out of there, and we'll just go and talk to the doctor. And so you can just sort of see the different sorts of things that the doctor would actually then have. And, oh, by the way, there's other little things. I'll show you this as well. So this is like the infirmary. If you just talk to the doctor again, we can trade into here as well for different sorts of medicines. So we can actually get medicines from here as well if we wanted to. Again, we've got a fair bit of money through there. Some of these are worth an awful lot, but let's just leave it where we are. I'll press escape. Oh, by the way, if we just press tab, this is our school backpack in through here. I didn't mention that one. It's got a weight of 9 kilograms that it can actually then carry. So we're carrying basically nothing, and we've got up to 17.5. So we could go off and just do another quest, which is probably the ideal. But when we come back, if we don't want to be going at night time, and we still would get that back there in daylight, I would think, you can just come across. This is actually quite cool as well. You can just go back and sleep in one of these spare beds, and you can sort of see what time it will be when you wake up. And so it'll be 2 in the afternoon as I start to push this one. So if we don't sleep at all, it's going to be 2 o'clock. But we can sort of sleep until we actually end up, sometime the next morning. So this will be enough time for us to go off and not sleep and go and do another mission in the afternoon, and then come back, sleep through the night, and then go back out again in the morning until we actually get night vision goggles. So that's sort of that's the game. This is Zero Sievert. Very, very cool game. I really, really like it, actually. The aesthetics are fantastic. Everything you sort of look at is really, really good. There's also the different other groups, as I say. There's a lot to discover in the game. It's early access at the moment, but really, really good. Now, this is actually a group called the Green Army, and they're not going to want me coming up into this zone, I think it is. So, but these eventually will become our friends. So as we come back, yeah, stop right there. They don't want me to move up into their zone where we can then do other trading with them. So we just move out of the way. But they've got much, much better equipment than what we've got to start with. Fantastic game, great progression. Yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. 20 minutes, that's pretty good for me. And we successfully did the first mission. We're underway with the second mission, and we're nowhere near getting the mission for the train conductor. But I will actually play more of this. Let me know what you think. Is this the sort of game that you want to see more from somebody who's not very good at playing these sorts of games? just go through and actually explain exactly what I'm thinking and doing, or is it really best left to the people who've got better reflexes than me, for example? But I really, really like this game, I've got to say, an awful lot. So even if I don't record it, this is definitely going to be a game that I'm going to enjoy playing no matter what. Thanks for watching.